Coming from a wet Sakir for the second round of the 25th season of the Allflattious iGP Championship. The opening round in Sao Paulo was won by Ronnie Peterson, the Swede champion, taking his first victory for the McLaren team. He was joined on the podium by Patrick Depaille and Carlos Reutemann. Depaille is in a great position to capitalise on that today. He starts on pole position, joined on the front row by Chris Amon, Ferrari. Amon's teammate Andretti looked like winning in Sao Paulo, but ended up coming home fifth. Now it's Amon's turn to lead the team. The reigning champion, Rolf Stommelin, goes from third. He's joined on the second row by Gonzalo Rodriguez, the man who was on pole position in Sao Paulo. Fifth and sixth, both Frenchmen. Jean-Pierre Beltois leads Sebastian Bourdais. Alain Prost goes from seventh after a disappointing opening round of the season. Jack Ickx joins him on the fourth row in his new team RWB. Eddie Cheevers joined by Carlos Pache on the fifth row. They round out the top 10. Pache nabbed a point for Brabham in Brazil. Alessandro Nannini goes from 11th in the second Brabham, ahead of his old teammate Jody Scheckter for Tyrrell. Carlos Reutemann, man third in the championship, joins the championship leader on the seventh row. They are 13th and 14th, with the second Lotus of Jarre 15th. In fact, we've got 4 of the top 5 finishers in Sao Paulo running from 13th through 16th, because Andretti is 16th. Jean-Pierre Jabouille made his debut last time out. He finished 7th, which is one of Ligier's best ever results. He goes from 17th today, though, so there's a lot of work to do. Jochen Rindt goes from 18th for Tyrrell, a disappointing showing from the Austrian, who is meant to be very good in the wet. And the back row, of course, Mauro Baldi and Johnny Servals Gabin, the two arrows, unsurprisingly. But with Peterson in 14th and Depaille on pole, it looks as though it's going to be tough for the Swedish driver to keep the championship lead. In fact, based on how Japan last season went, it's almost a foregone conclusion that it's going to be Alfa Romeo who are able to capitalise, rather luckily, by the weather.
Indeed. Thank you for the rundown, Marco, again, as we have 2 minutes left until the start of the second round of this season's championship, and the last to be run before the new update comes to the game, which very much concerns us once more, but we're going to focus on this race for now and see where we lie in the championship after this race, really. Can Alfa Romeo get a grip on it again? Who knows? Obviously, Ronnie Peterson, the championship leader, having won the opening round last weekend.
Alfa really, with their drivers, are both very good over a single lap, tend to benefit in wet races. We've got 1.2 millimetres of water on the circuit, which means there will be no DRS. All the overtaking will have to be done basically in the pit lane or on the boost or by some other methods. It's going to be a pretty hectic race because of that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. But really, you'd expect the top 3, Amon and Wet with the specialist and the 2 Alphas, to romp away into the distance and then to battle for 4th place, really, which you want to put your money on. Alain Prost, who starts 7th and is, of course, a double champion. But let's see. But I think really it's going to be an all-Italian affair up front. Andretti, very disappointing in the second Ferrari, though.
Yes, he will not be happy with the result in qualifying. He wants to be up there with his teammate, but I think he'll struggle to beat him today. We'll have to see. Obviously, Rindt's not going to be happy with where he is in qualifying, but then again, the Tyrrell in Jody Scheckter's hands is not much further up the field outside the top 10 once more. But they'll be hoping to score some points, but it's going to be difficult, really, I would say. But yeah, 20 seconds to go until the start of the race. Our first race in the wet at this track. Obviously, Bahrain not used to storms, but this race is scheduled in such a part of the year that it's there is a greater chance than there is in real life for wet Bahrain races. But the 5 lights now ahead of us. 4 lights, 5 lights, and the Bahrain IGP is underway as we have some overtakes at the back of the field, but otherwise the top 10 has remained the same. But Prost and Bourdais are now battling as Prost is up into the top 5 already.
Yeah, Depaille's really got a jump. I wasn't expecting him to get, to be honest. He's been fantastically fast there, getting off the line. But not much change in the top 10 apart from that, really. It's looking
there's a few
interesting,
changes.
actually. Yeah, Beltoir's lost a lot of place, but it's looking interesting, I would say, in terms of how much you can push, because the intermediate tyres on this circuit in this part of the world are really heating up very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we were
Eamon
gonna,
not doing well.
we were gonna talk about Eamon having a good advantage in this, but the problem is, because he's an AI or whatever, he might just not have the correct push level to battle at the moment. There's also the fuel and everything. I mean, there hasn't been many great wet races from Eamon, to be quite honest. That said, there hasn't been a lot for him to shine in, but he's, really, the best race he's ever had was an Austrian... Oh, it's gone to dry
That's
now.
dried. It's dry.
It's dry now, so he won't have much of an advantage at all. But his best race, as I was saying, was probably a dry Austrian IGP a few seasons ago, along with his teammate. They were running 1-2 at one point. Because that track is so easy for the AI to keep up. They just have the right push level. This track, probably not so much.
Heaton and Reutemann then both into the top 10. 2 podium finishes from the opening round. But this really changes the game. This really changes the way things are going to be looking, because we will have DRS at the start of the next lap.
Indeed. And
Now,
Rindt has now turned over the advantage Scheckter over him in the grid, and he's ahead of him, but really you should expect that from the driving ability that he does has, which is the same as his former teammate at Ferrari, wet weather ability. Pai with a easy lead over Chris Amon at the moment. Although it did look like it closed up a bit, but it's not going to be enough for DRS anyway. As we cross the line, DRS will activate at the end of this lap. Going on to lap 4, as there's a few people in the background. It's the 2 arrows that have both come to the pit lane.
Look at Andretti, sorry, I completely missed that. Andretti,
yeah, he's in
really
the top 10.
7th, crikey.
He's managed to come up the field very much so. There's some breaking away of some groups here. Prost is struggling to keep up with Rodriguez at the moment, but Rodriguez, I think, has likely used a bit of boost anyway, and he's still pretty much in his DRS, so he's fine. There is definitely going to be DRS because it's under 1 millimetre now, it's 0.8, so when they're going to be coming in, 0.3, 0.2 probably.
Good job from Eddie Cheever, I would say, because he's in a really rather good position. He's
2 hours on mediums. That's just the AI kicking in.
Good stuff from Stommelen, knowing that there's nothing that can be done by Eamon to resist his attack.
Yeah, didn't get DRS.
Doesn't get DRS. He doesn't get DRS. So
he will the next lap though, and I think he is quicker as Prost passes Rodriguez into 4th, and now will try and close up to the back of Stommelen and get on a wave to get in nearer to Patrick Depaille, who is just clearing the field at the moment. Eamon has got no answer as pace. 2.3 seconds behind. Stabilising that kind of gap.
We've just seen Bourdais drop out of the top 10. Bourdais is a man in need of good results.
Look at this though. Jackie Hicks from the top 10 starting is down to 16th. Not a good start to the race for him. He's going to be in some trouble if he doesn't start before. Obviously, he needs to perform if he wants to ever stay for RW for a long time, because they don't keep their drivers. Well, they kept Mansilla for a while, but they're changing their own attitudes to drivers at the moment. Obviously, they've got Cheever for a 2nd season, but X has been in the sport for longer, and he needs to get good results.
Well, usually their drivers get nabbed by
anyway, here's Stommelen.
bigger teams.
Is Prost anywhere near? No, but he'll be alright with that because Rodriguez is not threatening him. So now can Prost close up to the back of Eamon? I would suspect he can. Stommelen into 2nd place, it's a Alpha 1-2 on lap 5 of 59 here. Still not yet enough for the dry tyres, but probably only about a lap away now. So that storm's cleared over. It's still cloudy, but that storm is gone.
Interesting though, I wonder how this is going to work out then. Who is on a try? Some people may be on a try setup, and that might help them rather a lot.
Yeah. Andretti is storming through the field at the moment. He's quicker than Rodriguez. He'll hope that Cheever gaps Rodriguez so he can get past the...
I don't know what Alfred's playing at, but I don't like that.
But I think Andretti might just be quicker anyway to pass this, to pass the Uruguayan.
No, I'm just saying I don't like whatever tactics Alfred.
And Rodriguez is in. He's made the call quick to come to the pit lane. Is that an AI move, or is Franco managing the team?
No, that would be whatever was set for them in terms of how many laps to wait.
Onto mediums. Yeah, it probably should be this lap or the next lap, depending on how much it goes down. It looks like it's only going down by 0.1 at the moment, as Depaille has obviously closed up to the back of Stommelen, but that's... Sorry, Stommelen's gone to the back of Depaille and has got ahead of him with DRS. Yeah, and they're going to try and clear the field.
Yeah, I don't really like what Alpha have done particularly, but there we are.
It's their choice, and
Yeah.
it might work in the end for the Pies' benefit. That is. But although Stomlin is right at the moment,
Well, you just
clear.
can't. The dirty edge means you can't follow. Some,
Yeah.
Eamon quick, but not quick enough.
No.
Really.
Yeah. Shiva in the top 5. Andretti's progress staying as it is, really. He's not in DRS of Reutemann, so now he's going to be falling away into the clutches of
Reutemann's going to come after Prost now.
and Ligier's. Yep, indeed. So we've got a few groups now. We've got the 2 Alphas on their own, then Eamon, Prost, not near enough at the moment to get into DRS, which is a bit worrying for him, I suspect.
I think that the Ferrari's a pretty quick car.
Yep.
We saw that it should have really won in Brazil. But...
Indeed. Peterson, from that lowly grid position, is still not into the top 10, but is slowly
It
making
was
his way
earlier.
through.
It was the boost. Is when the Brabhams used their boost that it sort of went a bit.
He should be at the end of this lap anyway, because I think Bourdais is going to fall away, possibly, from Pache.
Yeah, and I'm sure Alpha are going to do this thing again as they try and romp away at the front of the field.
No real need to do it, though. I mean, I'd rather just keep one driver at the front.
Yeah, you just keep one guy, because it's not beneficial anymore with the way that Dirty Air works. It just isn't beneficial.
Yeah. They've got no threat behind, because Prost can't close in on Eamon at the moment. And Eamon's not going to win this race. He's not quick enough, just in pure pace. He can use his boost, although I don't think he does, because I think the Ferrari manager is in, but they have to wait until a certain point to
Bourdais
jump
just
on
boosted
boost.
back ahead of Peterson to block him.
Yeah, that's interesting. Peterson's now
Championship
in
leader
13th.
really struggling.
Because Rindt and Scheckter are boosted as well. Yeah. So, I would, if I was Alpha, I would just let Stomlin or the Pie clear the guy behind, really. Just back one horse, really. They can, they should be quick enough to take the win at the moment. Prost is nowhere near them. That's the real threat for the win. They're at least 6 seconds behind the race leader. Andretti in, lap 9. So this would be dry tyres, obviously. Might it be a smart move now that it is 0.2? And it is the second softest tyre. It's the soft tyre put on. Softest being the super soft. Aston Martin's absolutely nowhere because they've gone too early, because they're AI. How will Andretti fare on these tyres then? Can he get into the top 5 or, well, can he get ahead of Cheever? I think is the main thing, or Reutemann, with this earlier stop.
Yeah, I guess we're about to find out.
Now, will anyone else make the stop as the Pie is coming up to the back of Johnny Servo's Gavin, I think. He was in 20th and 107 seconds behind the leader. About to be lapped. Is anyone coming in? Chris Amon does. Teammate of Andretti. On to dry tyres, I suppose. There's no point not doing that at this point. What sort of pace has Andretti got? He's doing
best in the middle
faster
section
times. He's doing faster times apart from the Alpha of Depay. And Prost did a faster second sector as well, but did a personal best in his last sector. Yeah. Where is Amon? Amon is still about 6, 7, 8 seconds in front of Andretti, I would say. Something like that. Yep, 7.6. So it's not gaining him massively just yet. It's whether it will gain him here. It's still only on 0.2. Not gone down another percentile. So the pie's cleared off from Stomlin. Is Stomlin going to boost? No, because he's into the pit lane for his first scheduled stop. No one else is doing it. Prost has got
medium.
DRS.
He's going to have a lot of trouble heating those up. That's a
Yeah.
very interesting call. I would not have done that.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too early. I think you would have to go zero. You'd have to go for 0 really if you want to go on mediums.
Bourdais, fantastically fast.
Yep. Where's
Peterson
Amon?
can't keep up.
Yeah, Amon's about where he was. A bit closer to the back of Stomlin. Can he keep to the back of the Alpha is the question. I suspect he can. Andretti, what kind of times is he doing? Because we really need to focus on him in terms of places. Where will he end up being? Well, first sector is...
Quicker than Prost.
Yeah, but it's not massively, though, is it? Than some people. Depay is about 5/10 faster than, but certain people he's much quicker than, like, yes, about a second or nearly. But we'll have to see how it helps him, really. So Depay not pitting, Prost is pitting, so Depay's going another extra lap. I suppose he can afford it with a 5.7 second lead over Prost, but it's 0.1 now, so it's probably just about the correct time now, I would say. Now, where's Amon? And well, Amon's going to be ahead of Stolen because he's got DRS behind him. Where's Prost fit into this? He's... Well, Andretti's nearer to him, but he's sort of on his own. Look at Amon, he's clearing off from Stolen.
Well, I think Amon had the pace to be... Amon needed to be in the lead, basically.
Yeah, I don't think there's medium...
Oh, that's suicide from Jarry. He's gone to hard.
Yeah, I don't know why that's been done. I just think Lotus have lost it. To be fair, I don't think Stomlin is on the right tyre, so...
Well, I can tell you this because I've done a race in Bahrain recently. The mediums are barely usable. The hards are unusable. They're going to run out of fuel if they're trying to use hards on a damp track. The mediums are barely usable.
Pie in, then. What's he going to do? Soft tyres, you would suspect. With the experience that they have. No, mediums again. Reutemann, Cheever, Pache, everyone's going to be in apart from the two Tyrrells, I suspect.
Well, what's Bourdais pitted for new Inters. That's why Bourdais was so much quicker than
This is interesting, I must say, considering the Tyrrells are continuing to go. I don't really know why the AI is acting like that. It's just the way it's set, obviously.
But Amon's here.
Yeah, Bourdais on Inters.
It's Stommelen. It's not worked for Stommelen at all.
No.
I think Bourdais made the right call for fresh Inters.
I think there's a good chance Amon can win this race. If he gets the pace, if the medium tyres don't work, if they don't produce the pace, Amon can clear off. And he's going to have boost for the remainder of the race until probably the last lap. There is a good chance he could be on for his first win in the championship.
Chris Amon winning, that's unusual and unexpected. I presume that Ix will be in this lap, along with one of the
Tyrrells, yeah. Amon would hope... I was about to say he would hoped it wouldn't be Scheckter, but he's ahead of him now anyway. It's both Tyrrells.
Both of them, so that's interesting.
That's going to hurt Rint, but it doesn't really matter anyway.
That's bad news for Prost too.
They weren't really fighting for anything anyway, to be honest. They didn't have the pace. Lower top 10.
Lucky on the boost there.
Yep. So, question is, can Stommel and Depay work together to get to the Amon? Can Prost benefit from this with the two
I think Prost
Alphas?
Is gonna pass.
Yeah, with the two Alphas struggling. And then can he close down on Chris Amon, who pitted 2 laps before him? Andretti... It'd be funny if a Ferrari can get both drivers on the podium. In second or third, or first or second.
Well, Andretti probably should have won in Sao Paulo.
Yep. Looks like Stommelen is... It looks like Alpha has... No, I was about to say they have some...
Slightly older tyres. So.
Yeah, I was about to say Stommelen... I was about to say Alpha's had good pace, but that was just the first sector. Amon was quicker in the second compared to Stommelen. So Prost is now in with the two Alphas. What Alpha hope is that these tyres kick in later and they benefit them, but it remains to be seen, really. Amon extends his lead. It's nearly 4 seconds now. Yep. Peterson now running 6th. That's really as much as he can do, isn't it, really? Because he's too far behind now.
He's got to clear off from Reutemann.
Yeah, and then he needs to catch down a 7... No, it's more than that, isn't it? It's, 7.3 second gap to Andretti. That's just not happening, is it, really? So he's
unlikely.
He's just sort of stuck where he is, which is good enough, really, considering his starting position. Yeah. So, and then the lower half of the points is basically between the two Brabhams. Nannini 9th and Chache 10th. Scheckter absolutely nowhere near. Charrier sort of given so much of a disadvantage, really, along with his teammate, by being put onto the hard tyres. Same with the two Ligiers, who have had to stop twice now because they went onto the Inters at the wrong time. Not good, considering the race they had last week. As Prost is now second and will set off after the Ferrari of Chris Amon. he should be quicker than the two Alphas and clear off. But I suspect the Alphas would just try and keep up with Prost. I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah,
by
no,
those
I think
tactics.
Alfa will just run their own race with their DRS. I think they'll just run whatever they want to
Well,
do.
yeah, they could just get Stomlin behind Prost again rather than boost, but I don't know. If the Pi loses DRS, I wouldn't be surprised if he just boosts the Pi up behind Prost again, because he's got 100% at the moment. So, and Prost has used some.
Yeah, but I think they know that with the Prost on this compounded tyre, it's not their race.
No, not at the moment. But they'll feel if
they'll
they
just
can.
wait for
Yeah, but they feel if they can later in the race that this will benefit them if they just stick up behind Prost. But yeah. Anyway, Amon leading by 3.5 seconds, so Prost has closed the gap. This is the problem he now does have, having pitted earlier. He's got the older tyres. Not much older, but Prost, once he's been out of this phase of the race where he was stuck up behind other cars, he's going to be quick now. And that might prevent Amon from a potential victory today. But they're going to be on for a good result. They're going to get a double points result if they don't run out of fuel. Definitely. And probably top 5 for both cars. There is no way I can see Peterson closing the gap enough, although that said he's taken a second already off Andretti.
Yeah, he's got much younger tyres, so...
Yeah. Not really, he's only got tyres 1 lap younger than Andretti.
Oh, I thought, okay, well, I'm mistaken.
Yeah, he's just quicker. Which isn't surprising, I suppose, when he's on his own. He's cleared off from Reutemann, obviously, who's on the incorrect tyre at this stage of the race. So, the Pi stuck to the back of Prost. Obviously can't pass him because he wasn't anywhere close enough. He was nearly a second behind before the DRS kicked in. Andretti now bridged between the top 4 by the arrows of Mauro Baldi. Or Baldi.
I'm surprised Ix is so poor. Ix is just... Jarry's... I think loads have given up on Jarry. He's out of the team at the end of the season. That's pretty common knowledge. They've got Andretti in to replace him.
Indeed. The man who... Well, Jarier managed to keep his place over Andretti when they got Reutemann, and now... The irony is that
well,
he's
it's
been
because
kicked out
Jarry
by
had
Andretti.
a very strong second half of season 21.
Yep. It's
basically
been...
saying...
Lotus has been for seasons now a tale of 2 seasons for each driver. One first half of the season for a driver, and then a bad one, and then so on. It's not been good. Anyway, yes. Stommel and Depay continues to change positions. Andretti's really out of the race for the podium now because he's 5th and he's dropping time. It's whether Peterson has got enough pace to close up to 5th place of Andretti. I would suspect at the moment not enough, but he is quicker. Maybe at the end of the race he can do
I don't really see anything changing, and I think the top 5.
Yeah, I think Ferrari are on for 2 results, maybe in the top 5, at worst 6th with 1 car, and the other anywhere from 1st to 4th, or 1st to 5th.
Yeah.
So Prost closing up. He's used his boost. I think he's quicker. I think he's used a bit more, but he's just quicker anyway. He's just quicker than Amon at this point, and he's nearly in his DRS already. I think he could be at the end of either this lap or the lap after. I think he will be up behind Andretti and Peterson into the pit lane, and they will fit on another set of soft tyres, although in this case Peterson's gone to the mediums to try and go longer than Andretti and see if anything works. I mean, really he has to just do that anyway, because otherwise he's going to be stuck in 6th.
So Andretti's rejoined in a great place just ahead of Jarier, so that's good news for Andretti.
I expect he'll be quick enough to close up to the back of Scheckter as well. Maybe not this lap though. Maybe we'll have to wait another lap. Anyway, Amon only a second and a half now ahead of Prost. Is he going to be in this lap? I would have thought so. Nope, continues on, and Prost has now got DRS behind Amon. He was so much quicker in that sector, and now leads the race. The 2 Alphas just a bit behind. It's probably the least surprising event of this stage of the race, really. Prost going into the lead, and I suspect from now on should commandingly win this race, as long as the Alphas are not in it. But they're coming together now.
Will be in it.
But they are coming.
They are far ahead of...
Yeah,
No, you go. You
Oh yeah,
speak.
sorry. Well, yes, the Alphas are really they are in it because they're still within the DRS of Amon, so they're not. Prost is not getting away from them, not to the extent that Prost needs to.
Yeah, I was just thinking
And the tyres are kicking them.
how far ahead of Andretti was Prost? Because Andretti's not in a great position. I presume Prost will rejoin just behind Pache.
Yep, probably.
That'd be my guess.
As
The
Prost comes
mediums
in,
are a really hideous tyre. The mediums are a really, really hideous tyre.
perhaps, but they can go longer, so we'll see how their pace is now with the new soft tyres for Prost and Amon. Where do they fit into? So they're behind Reutemann. Here are the two Brabhams, Nini and Pache. One's going to be ahead. Well, okay, they've been split basically. So Pache's behind Prost, but Nini's ahead of Prost, and then Amon's behind both. So Prost should get into
doing way better. This is looking at Depay's race now, I think.
Yeah. Well, if they got good enough pace and can go longer and go onto the soft tyres,
I'm not sure actually. I'd take that back because Depay, even if they go 15 laps, that's lap 26, 41. Then they have to run a hard stint. This actually, I think, could be still looking quite good for McLaren.
Yeah, and Alan Prost.
Cheever fourth, by the way. Cheever with a brilliant job so far.
So Amon just passes Pache with pure pace there, and will be up behind Prost, who's behind Nannini. Neither will be in, so they're going to pass that Brabham of Alessandro Nannini. Both, I suspect, will do. Nope, Amon's not quite quick enough. He should pass him anyway.
Yes, he should.
And does.
So, Cheever next. I think Prost will have him by the end of this lap, looking at the pace. And then it's Reutemann. Alfa have stopped playing games because they've got a 2-lap difference. If we see... Yeah, I think this is going to be really bad news for Alfa. Quite possibly, as Cheever goes on the boost, as does Nannini.
Yeah, they really didn't need to do it, though. They should have just left either Depay or Stoneman to go out in front. They sort of did it.
They were playing silly games with the boost. That's not how... With the dirty air, you can't do that anymore.
I know, they sort of did it. Like, they let Depay go a bit long, and then he went a lap longer than Prost when he should have really come in. And then, because he had the gap of about nearly 5 seconds, so he could afford to. But then Prost was close up behind him, and they should have just gone to soft tyres, really, let's be honest. They would have had...
Right, Alfa is saying they don't have the fuel to make it to the flag.
Well, they're not well, now they're going onto the soft tyre. They should have gone onto the soft tyre, really. They had...
I don't know what Lotus are going to be up for, but they're going to be
they're going to struggle. They will struggle with that hard tyre. So it's really now Prost's race to win, I would say, on the back of that.
You know, Amon's right there, and Amon's got more boost.
Way more boost. But has he got the pace to keep up with him? The boost thing will be negated if Prost has got the gap, quite obviously. And we don't know what will happen with the strategy later on. So at the moment they're on the same strat and they're pitting the same lap as Amon closes up to the back of Prost, who's been balked by Eddie Cheever in the RWB.
Cheever might be in this lap actually.
Cheever could have almost been a Ferrari driver at one point himself.
He could still be next season. They need
in AIC as well. I don't mean in real life. AIC Ferrari did also consider it a few seasons ago. At one point, along with people like Luke Janssen. So,
but Janssen is now a Honda Works driver, and he is likely to be the man to sub for Andretti after Jarry leaves the team before Andretti is out of his Ferrari contract.
Yeah.
I say, by the way, sterling work from Carlos Reutemann here. In second place.
At the moment, yeah, but it's not really going to pay dividends, is it? It's too slow.
No.
There's Prost and Amon follow. That's the battle for the win at the moment, I would say, unless Depay can do something.
Andretti's there as well, up on the back of Cheever.
Yeah, he is. He is indeed. Stomlin's not far behind, but problem he's used a bit of his boost, and he's got tyres 2 laps younger, but he's got another group of cars in front of him. Well, 2 really now. He's got Andretti in that group, and then he's got Cheever. Now he's up behind us. Depay follows behind him out the pit lane in 7th place. Can they close up to the back of what's now the lead group of Prost, Reutemann, and Amon? Amon not really happy about this. Stuck up behind Reutemann.
Yeah, Andretti's here as well now, but on older tyres.
He won't want Reutemann to pit or be passed, or aim on to pass Reutemann. He wants to have DRS behind the Lotus, because at the moment he's just losing time relative to Prost anyway. I don't think Reutemann should be in. I think it's a bit too early for that.
No, you've got to run longer. Because he's still with the boost, he's got net ahead of the Alphas.
Yeah. Sort of helping his teammate though, is Eamon. This bit is helping him, helping Andretti, because it's clearing him away from the two Alphas. He is in. So now Andretti's going to be ahead of Eamon. Nope, he's not, because none of them have got DRS. So now Prost has cleared off. He's 3.2 seconds ahead.
as well. That'll annoy McLaren and Peterson.
Yeah. Indeed. Eamon hasn't had a Has he had a podium in the AIC? I don't think he has he?
Not that I can recall. I think his best result last one was 7th, and that was his best career result as well.
Yeah, Rindt was the one who took the podiums for Ferrari when he was at the team alongside him.
He got two or three, I think. Three,
I think. 2 in one season, and then the Belgian one in the season after. Which I think was just because of... I can't remember the reason for it. I think
it was wet. It was
wet. Yeah, I think they just... Yeah, but I think it was just because they boosted at the end and they just fell into that position.
Oh, yeah. But
the other two were on pure pace. The other two were on pure pace. Generally, could have won both easily. Anyway, so where are Alpha in this? They're 6 and 7 seconds behind. 7 seconds basically behind Prost at the moment. Closing in onto the back of Andretti and then also Chris Amon as a result. Scheckter now 6th. But he stopped on lap 13, I think, so he's going to be
in this lap then.
So that doesn't really... Yeah, that doesn't really matter at all, because, he's going to be way out of the top 10, obviously. Rindt himself way out of the top 10, having used nearly 50% of his boost. Scheckter the same.
Ix is still in there somehow, but he needs to pit. I think Ix, Rindt and Scheckter will all be in this lap.
Indeed. Yeah, Chris will rue that moment with Reutemann. He really needed to have DRS behind him at best, really, because he was always going to lose that time if he didn't pass the Lotus. So he needed to be... Because he's on the same strat as Prost, and he's probably got similar-ish pace, but he's not going to close up.
Scheckter in this lap? Yep, Scheckter is in this
anyway,
lap.
Anyway, ahead of... Well, both Alphas are now ahead of Andretti. Can they close up to the back of Amon and Prost and get back into this race? The Pie's got a good chance because he's got the most boost apart from Amon in the top 5 and Andretti.
Yeah, Alpha may have been smart going, I don't know, because they did go on.
But of course, yeah. But of course, they have already said that they might run out of fuel, so it might be unimportant.
I to be completely honest, not just as the fact that I want McLaren to win. From a championship point of view, seeing both Alpha and Lotus out of the points would be very nice from a competition point of view.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, Amon, he's got good pace. It's just a shame he lost all that time behind Andretti. Otherwise, it would have been a continuous battle for the win at the moment, I would say, and they would clear off from both Alphas as a result. It sort of brought the Alphas back in it. Although I suppose
very tough.
I suppose Prost would argue that he would just have quicker pace on his own anyway, so it wouldn't help having him on the car.
I'm not sure this is looking as good for Prost as we think it is.
Well, it depends again if, as you say, the Alphas can't manage the fuel. They're doing a better job of it now because they're on the right tyre, but...
Yeah, but Prost is going to have to go mediums or he's going to have to 5-star.
I suppose so, yeah. But they might be in a better position on fuels, so it might be irrelevant.
Yeah.
Although they are usually tight and they've had to manage it quite a number of times in the last few seasons. Well, a few races of last season. Here goes Solon then. He's got DRS up behind Amon. He easily passes him for second place. Depaille will try and pass with pure pace here on the Ferrari. It looks like he can do it.
Doesn't have the racecraft.
And boosts, because he's just quicker. He's just quicker anyway. That's probably the best thing that he could have done, really. Rather than be stuck up behind Chris. So, top 10 at the moment. Lap 31 and 59. It's gone quickly, of course, because the races are... Well, they're just massively quick with the 2 times. Speed. Prost, Stomlin, Depay, Amon, Peterson, Reutemann, Andretti, Cheever, Pache, and Jarier, the top 10. Nannini, Scheckter, Ix, Rint, Beltois, Rodriguez, Bourdais, Jabwi, Baldi, and Gavan. Outside that, as Amon and Prost both pit. Expected. And the two Alphas continue on. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Here comes Peterson.
I think, are we going to see Stomlin in this lap? I think we might, or next lap possibly.
Yep. So, Peterson ahead of Prost. I don't know if that will last.
That's good, actually.
Yeah,
I think that's good for McLaren.
Amon behind Reutemann again. That's not great.
Yeah, Reutemann's actually way more in this than I thought he was.
Yeah, that's not good from Amon, that stint.
Reutemann can run to lap 40 probably, and then go hard, soft to the end.
Yeah, I think Amon would have hoped to be ahead of Reutemann anyway. Just for the fact that it's another car out of his way. And considering Prost is now up behind Peterson, has been slightly held up by him, he would have been right behind the Frenchman again.
Okay, they're not unleashing Depay, they're getting Stomlin in his DRS.
Yeah.
Not letting Depay be unleashed.
Yeah, I just don't really understand that. Stomlin's now used about 50% of his boost.
Well, maybe they think that that's not really their race.
And I don't really get why they've done that, because Stomlin's not gone ahead of Depay or anything. It just doesn't work. I'd rather just use Stomlin to give Depay DRS. At this point, I would just do that. Take Stomlin out of the equation.
Yeah, make the reigning champion number 2. I'm sure.
I mean, it doesn't work as much as it used to. That tactic always used to work in previous seasons. Like it would.
Well, the dirty Emmys you can't really follow anymore. So
yeah, well, no. To be fair, I was only talking about like one corner, and then you get another car ahead of him. You get Stomlin ahead of Depay at the final corner to just give him boost, but it just doesn't give you as much of a benefit as it used to in previous iterations of the game. Still benefits you, but not as much.
They haven't. They've messed it up this time though.
I think Alpha just realised there's no point in doing that.
They boosted Stomlin. They boosted Stomlin that last corner, but didn't do anything.
Yeah, but it's a waste, really. To be honest, they shouldn't be bothering doing that. Anyway, so Amon on the back of Peterson didn't have DRS, but he's just closed up on him, expectedly. Reutemann.
Yeah, Peterson's tired.
Reutemann hasn't got
Peterson's looking at P7 now.
Yeah, Reutemann's got really good pace considering.
Reutemann's been fantastic today, I must say.
Yeah. Jarier featured in the top 10 now, which I didn't think he would have been in this race, but that's not brilliant.
He's got a lot of boost actually. I think Jarier's all right. He'll pretty.
It's just him relative to Reutemann is not really good enough, and that's why he's not going to stay in the team next season. It's just he'll have really good races, but then too many bad ones. But then again, Reutemann does have that period himself in seasons. Stomlin in. That's probably why they're getting Andretti, because Andretti's consistent level.
This is where the race is won by Alfa Romeo, I think.
Yeah. So Andretti's going to be ahead of Amon now, as a result of Peterson pitting. That's where Stomlin is. That's not too bad for him. Well, depends whether he closes up on the back of Carlos. I suppose the problem Alpha now do have is that they're having to continue to use more fuel than really needed. It's just a necessity, isn't it? Really? Annoyingly, the track's still wet on the 3D view.
Nice.
It's not dried up at all. The line is still really damp. I think it would only change if it went to fully blue skies, I suspect.
He keeps running. So, is he... What are his sector times like? 35.8. He's not losing that much time.
No, and he's getting this tyre offset, isn't he? He's already got...
If he runs to 39, he's in great shape. Or even 38. But
yeah, I don't think he will. Yeah, I think he'll go either this lap or the next one. I suspect this lap, really. It's not too much of a bad offset, though, to have. It's just the problem of everyone just making that one stop. Anyway.
Yeah. But it's going to put a position where Prost, unless they run out of fuel, I think this is Depay's race to win.
Yes, I suspect so, with the pace he'll have.
Unless he comes up behind the Ferraris.
Yeah, even then I think he can easily pass them. He'll just use his boost, and that'll be fine. Anyway, into the pits it comes. Yeah, he's losing a lot of time. He can't afford to go longer than that. Medium
If he's
tyres,
behind
of
the
course.
Ferrari, then it's going to be an interesting race. But I think he'll be between Stommelen and Andretti.
Yeah, the pit lane looks so much shorter on
It's
this.
going to be ahead of Reutemann even.
Not quite.
No, he's not quite.
But
yeah,
that's not too bad from him, really.
Yeah, that's a good position for him to be in.
Would he want to pass Reutemann or just wait until...
They'll just sit behind him for DRS. I mean, that's what you want to do, isn't it? But Prost is not it. There's no way Prost can win this now, I don't think.
Unless Alpha run out of fuel, yes.
Yeah, I think it's Depay's going to win it. Probably from Prost, and then probably from Eamon. Or even Stommelen.
Yeah, the offset we managed to garner is just too much.
We know what the top 6 is going to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the end, I don't think Ferrari are going to get the double top 5 they wanted. Because of Reutemann existing.
Reutemann's done a fantastic job. I mean, I think it'd be fantastic if everyone's run out of fuel. But
the Ferraris, I agree, yes. Oh.
Reutemann's not... Yeah, Reutemann's being nice to McLaren here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
Bit of a dispute in the week between Alpha and Lotus, so... Yeah, I'm not too surprised.
No. I would probably just use Stommelen to back Reutemann into Depay.
I mean, I'll tell you what is interesting. Peyton only 12th and not really doing particularly impressive times.
Yeah, if I was Alpha, I would just get Stommelen ahead of Reutemann. And then block him. Because then it will get Depay and Reutemann through Stommelen, and then Depay should be able to pass Reutemann anyway.
All that we talked about Chris Eamon earlier, second on the grid with Andretti 16th, and with 20 laps to go, Andretti's ahead.
Yeah. Now, Andretti's just a better driver, that's clear.
Yeah.
If it had stayed wet, I think Eamon could have gone for third or something. I don't know. To be fair, he wasn't that quick at that part of the race. I don't really know why Alpha should have just got Stommelen ahead before then. They should have just backed Stommelen into Reutemann so that both him and Depay would pass Stommelen, and then Depay could just pass Reutemann on the track. Right now,
there's no doubt in my mind that it is a definite attempt
to block. Yes.
From Lotus to help McLaren.
Well, look at this. They should have look at how much more pace Stommelen's got. Why didn't they just get Stommelen ahead of Reutemann the previous lap to get him out of the way? I think it'll be all right anyway because it looks like Depay's quick enough anyway. I think those medium tyres on Reutemann's car are completely shot.
Insured. I mean, he's got to go soft to the end and do that as a strategy. Yeah. I think.
That's once again. I don't really get this now from Reutemann because he's just going to pass.
I think he's just trying to help Prost.
Yeah, but you're just going to hurt more of your race relative to Ferrari potentially, especially Andretti, who's looks quicker of the two Ferraris at the moment.
Even though he's on 2 lap all the tyres.
Yeah, because you're using more boost. Ferrari got max amount of boost. They're not too far behind. They're only 2-point-something seconds behind. They're on a better strategy anyway than the Reutemann is.
Also, Ferrari probably have 1 stop to go. Reutemann has, unless he's going to run hard to the end.
He might do.
Has 2 stops to go.
He's already
if
used
he's
them
running
this
hard
race.
to the end, that makes sense.
Yeah, but his pace is going to be compromised, obviously. His pace is going to be compromised, and he's got less boost than the 2 Ferraris. You're just costing yourself maybe a position or 2 by trying to block something that's inevitable. I still don't get why by now they're not just getting Stommelen in front of Depay to give Depay more DRS. Because
Reutemann's going soft, so Reutemann's settled for possibly even behind. Let's see where Peterson comes out here.
Yeah.
Okay, Reutemann's going to be ahead of Peterson, I think.
No, not quite, but close.
Ahead of Pache. Sorry, Nannini, because Pache got Nannini somewhere along the line.
Yeah, he did. Another disappointing race for Tyrrell. I don't think there's much he can
done a decent job.
I know, yeah, Schecter's done a decent job, but he's not going to get much for it in the end. You could say Brint's not really done a good enough job, but in any case, the Tyrrell's just not, at this point, is just not doing enough, really, in races.
I don't know why, because I can tell you for a fact it's a way better car than the Brabham. So I don't know why they're anyone near
I mean,
Brabham.
no, Schechter is a very good driver, 2-time champion, and yeah.
Yeah, probably possibly the best driver on the grid.
Yeah. Obviously doing better than Ring, but everyone, I suppose, would suspect that. But Yeah. Anyway. The Paye, how much is he behind Prost? Around where he was when he came out of the pits. So that's really... It has cost him Reutemann being stuck up behind. But Reutemann, of course, is now going to be doing another extra stop anyway, so he's irrelevant in the picture. It's whether the two Alphas have got enough pace.
Heaton versus Reutemann is a legit
And I wonder if McLaren can afford to go a bit longer with the gap the Paye's got. He's got to the Paye. Can they go a lap or two longer and minimise the offset that they're getting currently? Or will it just come into effect where the Paye's just chasing him down so much it's just inevitable he has to pit?
Well, Alpha are going to be on softs in the last stint. McLaren are not.
Yeah, whatever they do, I suppose, yes. Because if they stay out too long, they'll just be passed.
Cheetah, by the way, still doing an exceptional job.
If Reutemann had held up the two Alphas for much longer, then maybe Prost could go long enough to be only a lap or two.
That was quite unfortunate for what just happened for
who? For
Reutemann.
Yes, I did not see that.
He boosted ahead of Peterson to get in at the top of the queue behind Carlos Pache, and Pache immediately pitted.
That's right. He's basically... Lotus have taken Reutemann out with any significant points score, I guess, really.
I think he's in a legitimate battle for 6th place with Ronnie Peterson.
Got less boost. He has to pit another time.
Yeah,
Peterson, well, to be fair, they both have to only stop once. But Peterson's got more boost.
Yeah, but Reutemann will be able to gap him.
Will he, though? Let's see.
And he passes him.
I mean, he should have been fine with the top 5, though. We'll see. Okay, so Amon's now cleared off from Andretti. So that's changed again. It's just the tyre effect, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
With no Reutemann in between them and what have you, with the Amon in just this part of the race.
I wonder, are Alpha going to bother to waste boost here? They are looking at... Are they going to get Stommel and a Paye?
They don't need to. I think the Paye can close up enough here to be in DRS. He doesn't need to use boost. But he is anyway. I think he was close enough anyway. He was 1.2 at the previous sector. I think he would have been under anyway. But no harm doing it. He's got more boost still. He's got tyres that are so much younger. It's rather irrelevant. Question is, can Stomlin get second? With the amount of boost he's used.
Yes, and by the way, it's very much been an excellent job of gapping Ronnie Peterson by Carlos Reutemann.
Yeah, he's done 2.2 now, so yeah, he should be going for 5th. But nothing else. Too far behind. He'll be too far behind the Ferraris at the end, I suspect. Although he obviously will be on softs again, but I don't think he's going to be quick enough, as Andretti's using a lot of his boost. So Ferrari, at least in Andretti's case, are now using all their boost remaining in the race. Smart idea, because they're going to come up behind Ronnie Peterson for DRS. Although, will he pass him before then? No, he won't. He'll get DRS behind him and be not too far behind. Carlos Reutemann here. There's Prost joining in behind Reutemann, who's just slightly ahead of Prost. Andretti now used all his boost. So presumably Amon's going to do it at some point as well.
Alpha have been absolutely separated.
Although maybe Ferrari will wait with Amon until the last lap now, because he's going to be... By the time he stops, other people are going to be close to the stop anyway, or have made it. Depends where he falls out, I suppose. It'll be probably... Well, it'll be in a similar place to Andretti, won't it? So maybe he will have to boost to get DRS. And in he comes. Two Alphas clear out in front at the moment. They should win this race as long as they don't run out of fuel. So where's Amon? Okay, yeah, he's nowhere near Andretti. He's gonna have to use his boost, obviously. Not much far ahead of Jario, really, but yeah. And he gets on the button. And we'll use it all the way until it runs out. I mean, he should get DRS behind Peterson. He'll probably go ahead of him before then, mind you, but...
He was ahead of Andretti, so...
He'll probably get it behind... I don't know if he'll get it behind Andretti, though, so he'll probably just be on his own. No, he waits for it now. Oh, he slightly waited for it, but not for long. So Peterson gets DRS behind him. But yeah, Amon's lost out in that in the end. He's lost a lot of time by going longer and just where the boosting has occurred. He was about 2 or 3 seconds ahead of Andretti, and now he's behind him by about a second. He should beat him anyway, but...
Is Reutemann intentionally backing Prost? Oh, he's in a personal first section, I suppose not. But they're not quicker than Depaille. Depaille is going to win this race. I don't think Stommelin's going to be in trouble. Stommelin's going to extend to go to the soft, which is the right call, because I think otherwise Alfa aren't going to finish the race. And let's see. Well, Stommelin. Okay, so Stommelin's got to go mediums. Softs, you can't make them last this long.
No, he's
soft.
Try.
Okay, that's a very, very questionable decision in my book. I don't know why he's done that, but we'll see.
Because he needs the fuel, but he wants to have the pace.
If they're going to hit the cliff.
Yeah, but he has to assure that they finish, and he has to try something, doesn't he? So maybe a Ferrari's going to be on the podium.
He's going to pass the Ferraris now.
Yeah, that too. That shouldn't be too difficult, though.
So, I mean, what we're looking at is a top 6 of the 2 Alphas, the 2 Ferraris, Prost and Reutemann, with Peterson 7.
If I was Andretti, I would back up to get Amon in my DRS and just get him ahead. Probably the best chance. Best chance of a podium. Yes, of course he can't do that because he has to be stuck on one push level the whole race.
We're looking at, I think, Jarre. Well, Jarre's got a pit again. Cheever will. So, yeah, we know that Jarre and Peter are going to be 7th and 8th.
Indeed. So, Depaille coming out the pit lane on his last stop. Where's Prost relative to him? Is Prost going to be behind him? No, just ahead of him. So, he's got to pass Prost on track, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he'll be absolutely fine with that.
Yep, he should be. And he's on the soft tyres. He's got much younger tyres and fresher softer compound and some more boost as well. Sorry. Prost has only used about 50% of this, so.
Yeah, 45 is how much Prost has used, but Depaille's got... Basically, McLaren's hopes that Depaille runs out of
fuel. I wonder what Reutemann's going to do. Is he going to get in the way again?
I think he'll pit this lap and go to soft. That's the only sensible thing to do.
Yeah, fair enough. True. Anyway, Andretti, then Stommelin. Amon a bit... slightly ruined by just the nature of how this race has developed.
But I think he'll get Andretti with the tyres in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, he should do. But, I mean, if there is the possibility of Alfa runs out of fuel, it might end up being... Well, we'll see. We'll see. It might not even be the case at all, and Alfa were completely fine on fuel, and they were just lying. But they don't regularly run out of fuel, do Alfa at least?
Not in this championship, anyway.
Yes, they did as ARC quite a lot, but then again, that was an AI league, and it's much different. Although they did that before refueling, which is rather odd. Usually, you're all right with that. Usually it was refueling where obviously you run out of fuel because their drive just goes a lot longer, having saved enough during the stint.
Yeah, but we're looking realistically at Prost being pretty second behind Depaille. I think Stommelin's going to hit a cliff.
Again, I would just bin off Stommelin's chance and just get Depaille to assure this win, really. Just get him ahead of
unless
Prost.
They are genuinely concerned about...
but that won't affect Stommelin's position, will it, really? I mean... He's in a compromised scenario anyway, so I would have just... Rather than trying to gap... Which sort of... He is sort of doing that, because he's just because of the dirty air, it's just affecting Depaille, but he's having to do a lot more to stay with his teammate. Rather than getting Stommelin ahead of Depaille to get DRS and get closer to Prost, because he's just limping off at the moment. It's just a waste of time.
This reminds me an awful lot of Valencia last season, where Prost was doing a heroic job out front, very nearly keeping a win against the way quicker Alfa Romeo cars on softer tyres.
There's a
I
Ligier
don't
in the
think-
way of Depay. Don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's Jabouille or Jabouille. is it?
Chabouille.
Yeah, what a turn of events for Ligier this race. It just sort of does tend to happen. They have this great race,
Yeah, but they've
and
got
then
points on.
and then
so
it
they'll be happy.
yes, and then it follows after that an absolute disaster race. To be honest, the race has obviously been settled by the fact that they went to Inters. I don't think they were competitive even before them, but that just completely cemented where they were going to be. Then that stopped 6 times as a result, rather than what needs to be a 4 or 3 stop. Really 4.
Yeah, not been great for Aston. That's because they went too early onto the.
Is Chiva going all the way to the end?
No, I think all of these guys are going to pit with about 3 laps to go.
Yeah,
That-
Chiva, Apache, and Anini, yeah. And others,
Yeah, and
but,
Tyrrell and
and
Scheckter,
yes,
and
well,
that's
yeah,
been a gift.
well, yeah,
Point.
they're out the points anyway. We were talking about the people who were going for points. Indeed. Anyway, yeah, again, bringing Stomlin in front of the pie, it's just not smart. There is no point in doing that.
It's still, they're going to win the race anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
I know, but Stomlin's got no. Well, actually, to be fair, he has got. No, sorry, he has got no threat because both Ferraris have already used their boost. So I don't really get it. Just relax Stomlin, put him in a lower push level so he's saving fuel, but get him ahead of Depay so you just get Depay closer to Prost quicker. It just lessens the effort that's needed to get the win. With no threat for Stomlin's third place, really, let's be honest. There's no one's going to challenge for it. Reutemann
Right,
would...
Alpha is saying they reckon they're about 0.4 litres short.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see about
So
the numbers.
5 laps to go. I think McLaren is short as well, but anyway.
Yeah, but they generally can make it to the end once they realise they're short.
McLaren might be a litre short.
Or they usually run out, but at the exact moment where it's just enough to be quick enough to the line, where it barely affects them. The Paye should be this lap on the next in DRS
I think
at Prost.
McLaren are in real trouble.
Well, they are on the medium tyre. They've had to go to that tyre, and it's going to be harder for them than it is going to be for the Alfa Romeos to
Shouldn't
save
have
fuel.
taken a litre out before the start, but anyway.
Yeah. To be fair, it's been a problem in the game in recent seasons, just getting fuel. Tyrrell, when they had their manager in races last season, they just couldn't get the cars to the end multiple times. That said, they were trying absolutely everything to go for wins, and that as a result compromised their races. Stomlin,
I think Pat's about to be in the pits, isn't he? So
yeah, the 3 stoppers currently should be in for the last stop for a 4th one. Peterson, yeah, Peterson's not done as amazingly as I thought in the end.
he's been pretty comprehensively thrashed by Prost, I'd say.
Yeah, it's just his grid position, really. It's just that's what's created the issue. He needs to sort it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like the real life Ronnie Peterson in terms of his qualifying, really. I mean, Scheckter...
He was in season 20 when he won the title.
Yeah, in his first season he was, but after that, Scheckter was generally better, wasn't he?
Yeah. Don't boost. Alpha not boosting. So this is going to be interesting now.
Surprised Depay didn't get ahead there. Sorry, yeah, Stomlin didn't get DRS behind Prost.
Yes, okay. I think McLaren are about 0.8 of a litre short.
Well, that's bad news.
Yeah, they are way short.
Will that be enough to stay ahead of both Ferraris?
Well, Ferrari might be short as well.
Yeah, true.
So,
Yeah, that's the thing. They're on mediums. Of course, they're AI, though, so... Well, no, they're stuck in one push level the whole race, sorry, I should say. So it is somewhat easier for them. Slightly, but not much more. So they might still run out of fuel themselves, which is going to affect them relative to Reutemann, who's only 10 seconds behind both.
I think Alpha have been gifted this by...
And you would say Lotus have probably got the least
Qualifying.
chance of running out of fuel.
Well, yeah, but Reutemann did that massive stint on the hards.
True, he did, but since then he's been on the right. He's been on tyres that have been more friendly to him, really. Anyway, Depay into the lead. Stomlin second. Second to last lap. This is going to be interesting. That bloody
Yeah,
Ligier
Cheever
is
in.
still in the way
Cheever in.
of Jabwin. Yep, Cheever in.
And Pache.
Will the two Tyrrell... Will one of the Tyrrells continue on then? Oh, Scheckter is. Both are.
So I reckon they'll be in this lap.
Well, that's going to
Something
be dumb, isn't it?
stupid.
That's just the way it's happened with the AI switching from inters to dry tyres, yeah. It's just unfortunate the timing. Because they could easily they could easily go to the end and have enough pace, I suspect, to, well, Scheckter's case, to be in the points.
Yes, okay, this is not looking great for McLaren.
Yep, okay, so final lap now then. What's going to happen?
Yeah, that's...
We think Alfa Romeo should be able to easily win this race because of the fuel situation. What's going to happen to Alain Prost, though? Is he going to run out of fuel in a really precarious position on the track? Is in the end Reitman going to take a podium, maybe, because of the amount of issues? Who knows? Maybe it'll be alright. Scheckter and Nix obviously coming in, so Rindt as well. That's a shame for those drivers, but yeah, it does happen. Prost is alright so far, halfway through the circuit, and he hasn't run out yet.
Yeah, he's got half a litre of fuel left to do half a lap.
Well, let's see. I'm just saying, it might not massively affect him as it might have done. He might just get it across as Depay runs out of fuel before even, but to be fair, he's right at the end of the lap, so he should be alright. And wins the race in Bahrain. Stommelen second. Prost looks like he's going to be alright for third, so not really much has happened to him. Andretti loses out on fifth.
He's out fuel. That is interesting then. So Cheev will get a point. Patchy will be in the points again.
Yeah, that didn't really affect things in the end, did it, to be honest?
Eamon fourth.
Everyone did not run out of fuel in a position on the track that was enough to cost anyone positions, really. Apart from in Andretti's case. Although I think that might have just been boost anyway. I don't think
Andretti had fuel. Andretti had fuel.
Yeah, he just wasn't. Yeah, he just wasn't quick enough, and Reutemann had boost left. So yeah, if Prost had run out about halfway through the circuit, obviously he would have struggled. He would have struggled to maintain third.
He ran out with 3 corners to go. He was very full.
Yeah, but he was only about 8 seconds in front of Eamon, so yeah, you would have thought he would have lost more time. He only lost 6 or something as a result of that.
Yep, so if that's going to put Alfa into the lead of the championship, is it not? It does. So
yes, I would go through the championship standings yourself at the moment.
Yeah, fast up for Bourdais. But anyway, so that means Depay has a massive lead in the championship, 43 points, second and first. Peterson still second despite finishing 8th. He's on 29 points, so it's a 14-point lead for Depay. Reutemann in third with 25 points after another strong drive, nabbing that from Andretti. Prost fourth with 23, Stommelen fifth on 22, Jarre on 18 points, tied with Andretti in 6th place, Eamon up to 8th with 12 points with that 4th place, Jabouille still in the top 10 with 6, Gonzalo Rodriguez with 2 points is 10th, Eddie Cheever, RWB's first points of the season, he is 11th, also with 2 points, Patch's 10th place means he has 2 points and is 12th, yet to score, but at the head of that group is Scheckter with 0, Nannini with 0, then Bourdais, Ix, Rindt, Belpois, Baldi and Servos Gavin also all with 0. In the constructors, it's a great lead for Alfa Romeo of 13 points. They have 65 thanks to their 1-2. McLaren second with 52. Lotus third with 43 points and Ferrari fourth with 30. It's 6 points for Ligier, they're still in the top 5, ahead of Aston Martin with 2, and of course RWB and Brabham also with 2. The only teams yet to score are Tyrrell and Arrows.
Yep, thank you for that. So, the second winner of the season here with Patrick Depay to open his account over the defending champion Ross Stommelen, who has not won a race yet. But will he be the man for Alfa to back this season? To be quite honest, Alfa have already queuing a possible, already eyeing a possible departure from the league after this season. I wonder if a title would change that opinion, as the same it might have done for Tyrrell seasons ago.
Yeah, but I don't think really that. I think Alfa won today because of the wet qualifying, and they are very good in wet.
But that happened last season. It happened many times last season where they won not. Yeah. Just didn't win on the same strat, but they won the title.
I think in the dry, Prost had won that.
Potentially, but then again.
But I guess
But again, they would have been on a different strat, and generally when that happens, relative to another car,
Yeah.
they can win races compared to when they're on the same strat as someone like Prost.
No.
They
But
usually lose.
I know that based on the moves that everyone made when it dried up,
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain.
Yeah,
That
but
victory.
yeah, I would say
McLaren.
yeah, maybe, but then again, Alpha's view on the race might be completely different. They might have done something different, and it might have still won them the race. But I would say if they win a title this season, which is the main point, it might change their view on whether they want to leave or not. But we'll be back in Baku next weekend, round 3 of the championship. I think that's the earliest it's ever been scheduled in one of our seasons. But,
I think it was round 3 or round 4 before.
No, I think it's been round 4, but not round 3. I don't believe. But maybe I'm wrong about that. But